And oh, buddy, the Iowa natives. Yep. This shall be a game. Iowa State's offense, Iowa's defense, and special teams. But we will dive into that. Trust me, Ash, we're hoping for a more exciting game than a week ago. Let's let's start right there. But look, like I said, college football is back. We had a couple of games, not as many as we had a week ago, but we had a couple of games last night on our Friday night recap. And I'm going to start with the early game, Louisville, UCF, in a close game that came down to the wire. Alex, I'm going to come to you first. Malik Cunningham of Louisville looked okay. It was rough early. And UCF jumped out, got 14 points early, but kind of got shut down. What do you think about this one, man?
Yeah, for me, the big thing was it was nice to see, even though he struggled early again, it was nice to see Cunningham bounce back. He had all like 200 yards passing, 100 yards rushing.
Yep.
Just typical Malik Cunningham, almost Lamar Jackson-esque vibes from Louisville. And it was nice to see him finally start putting points on the board. It was interesting to see UCF kind of choke and fall apart.
Right.
But, like, especially from somebody like Gus Malzahn that's coached at the big time, like Auburn.
Exactly.
It is a step below, whether people like it or not. It is a step from the SEC to where he's at now. Is that step down? But it's interesting to see that he couldn't help them keep that lead.
Yeah. And I mean, like, look, Kate, he went up 14-7 going into the half. Like Alex alluded to, Malik didn't look great. But that second half, 13 unanswered points by Louisville, and they held them off late. Should we be worried about UCF, or did Louisville, or are they just having a good year?
Louisville's having a good year. I thought they played very well in the second half, and knowing that there was a scoreless second half from UCF just goes to show that they need work.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel like there's a lot of kinks to be worked out in that team. I just thought it was funny how cocky they looked at first and how humbled they looked by the end of that game.
Oh, yeah.
So you can come out explosive, but a coach makes halftime adjustments, comes out with a different game plan after seeing UCF's offense and defense. He made the right adjustments, and he came out and he showed that they could win.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Don't be cocky. Don't be too cocky.
Yeah.
Well, hey.
On any given Saturday.
Or if you're cocky, back it up.
Yeah,
exactly.
And their players were just like showboating in that first half. And when they got that lead, and, it can be knocked down to size. You can have huge leads or just a lead, and that lead can be taken away in any given Saturday, Friday night on college football game day.
Yeah.
You definitely, it's a two half ball game. You definitely have to do it just like the season. You can have a great early first half of the season, like a couple teams we're going to talk about, and then obviously fall off later down the year. So it's going to be interesting. But I want us to bring our attention to one play that happened in this game late in the game. UCF driving down the field on Louisville, trying to go in there and potentially tie and take the lead. And then there was a very controversial play. I'm going to bring it up. We're going to talk about it and see. This is late in the game. UCF is driving. Was it a touchdown or was it an interception? Now we're going to look at, there are going to be some replays that are a little slower to see kind of if we can see, because fast pace, you really couldn't tell. He hits it in the back of the end zone. And I mean, they're fighting. At one point, the corner has it, at one point, the receiver has it. And there's not a bit of footage that you could really break down and say one person definitively has it. I mean, Alex, what do you think? Is that a touchdown? Is that an interception?
To be honest, I could look at that 100 times and have 100 different answers.
Right.
The first one, I was like, that's clearly an interception. I was like, it slowed it down that first time. I was like, well, maybe it's a touchdown. And then that angle, I was like, no, it's an interception. I don't know, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
To me, it was neither nor.
Yeah.
It was
that was another thing, too. It could have been an incompletion.
ball at the end of that play.
Yeah. And that was the crazy part. At the end of the day, the play was confirmed. They called it an interception on the field, and that essentially is how it ended. I mean, UCF had the chance to come back again, went 3 and out on a play on a 4th down where the receiver had the ball, was a little behind him, but totally alligator arm, totally missed it. And UCF comes out of this losing their first game, Louisville 2-0. With Malik Cunningham, like you said, over 200 in the air, 100 on the ground. Like, really want to watch out for this guy, Louisville. Let's see what they can do in an ACC that, ooh.
I was shocked at how quickly the UCF coach used all his timeouts. When there was a chance to come back, you can't blow all your timeouts that quickly.
Yeah.
You got to save some for the end.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And another game that wasn't as close as this one, the super late game, Boise State crushes New Mexico 31-14. Bachmeier 3 touchdowns in this ball game, pretty solid. But for the most part, I mean, it was like 17-10 going into the 17-0 going into the 4th. New Mexico kind of played up a little late, but Kate, is there anything in this game that you saw that kind of impressed you?
No, not really, because New Mexico looked like they were sleeping half the game. Wasn't as strong of a performance that I thought they could have had, but Boise State's a great football program, so it was what it was.
Yeah. And look, Hank Bachmeier.
It was bland.
Hank Bachmeier came back this week, throwing 3 touchdowns after being benched a week ago. Alex, is he somebody that Boise can follow, that offense? What do you think?
I mean, we're going to have to see because, like you said, last week he was benched. This week comes out, has a great game. It is New Mexico, though. Unfortunately, that's not the best sample.
Yeah.
So it's going to take another week or two, I think, to see if this is truly your guy. Because to me, realistically, they should have done more. Boise State's a much better team than New Mexico is.
Absolutely. And, and look, I know everybody gets on it. Hey, the blue field's hard to play. They were playing at New Mexico. So,
that
New Mexico
blue field drives me crazy. I really can't watch it. It makes me like almost dizzy.
It can be hard on the eyes sometimes. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. I can't watch their field.
Hilarious.
So if they're home, I'm not watching.
I can dig it. Well, look, they have the W in this one. Like I said, New Mexico for most of this game did not look like they looked lethargic. They were not really doing much. I mean, they get sacked like 2 or 3 of the plays on the drive. So we'll see. I mean, now New Mexico is 1-1. But they blew out Maine a week ago, so I don't know that I can really.
Can we really gauge first week games based on how they're going to be the rest of the season? Because most teams
depends on the matchup.
Very true. So you have a point, Kate. You have a point because a lot of these are preseason games in that week 1. But then again, you sometimes get a big time matchup like you had Utah, Florida, or Florida State, LSU. You know what I mean?
Ohio State, Notre Dame.
Right. Or what we expected out of Oregon and Georgia. Moving on.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.